Welcome to Patrick Roberts. Welcome to Patrick Roberts, our new timeline.
Hey guys, welcome. Hey Bill, welcome. Jennifer, welcome. Welcome you guys. Boy. So we have a coming battle ahead of ourselves, as we all knew was coming. The Vaxxers against the non-Vaxxers. This is going to be a big issue. I can see it coming, and a lot faster than what I thought it was going to come down the line, too. It's definitely coming a lot faster. But I got the few short video clips that I want to show you guys of just a few people going off on the mask. Now, can you imagine how heightened this is going to be when the VAWX comes out? How heightened this shit is going to be when people are becoming irate over just the mask. And let me punch up the video here. Gotta see which one I have here. Let me see here. Hotels are considered queer. Okay, well, we'll start off with this. I'll show you this. I'll show you this first, and then I'll go to the mask one that I was talking about. But I'll tell you. Hey, Mandela Mile, welcome, Jennifer. Here's what I'm thinking. I'm hearing that Pfizer has to ship these things at below zero. Like, what is it? 90 degrees below zero. They've got to ship them in dry ice. Now, I hear the other company that's coming out releasing theirs in a couple days, that this company, you don't have to freeze it like you do with the first company. Now, if the VAXXs are the same, pretty much, what's missing? Why is one you can keep warmer than the other? I mean, yeah, that, I don't know. I'm a little baffled over that, and I love the rules that are coming down on everybody. They're shutting down restaurants and gyms and all that shit again. They're starting with that, and then they said they're gonna let up a little bit over Christmas. And this is not making any sense yet to other people. This is not making any sense to other people yet. We can buckle down 1 month, and a week or two later, when Christmas arrives, I think I was just almost knocked out, but I'm gonna try to play this video.
It's up for folks out there that like to travel and like to stay at hotels. A look at what could be happening here in the future, as we have Scotland setting the bar here with a hotel there now saying that they're not going to allow people to come in if they've not been vaccinated. A no vaccine, no service policy is being used here. Now, we've witnessed the airlines roll this out, many different ones. Many countries are taking a stance saying that if you don't have a vaccination, you can't even enter. So what this means now is that even if countries don't mandate this or states don't mandate this, what will happen is they will say you simply can't go anywhere or do anything. And this is what has already begun. So as people cannot board flights, and then people get to places like Scotland, try to get a hotel, and then are told you can't unless you can prove that you've been vaccinated, you're going to be out of luck. Now, I can see this spreading rather rapidly. All the big chains, all the big names will be a part of this. They will listen to the establishment. All the small businesses, in turn, are getting wiped out. If you can do anything out there right now, support your locals, support your farmers, buy off your neighbors, all these things, because they're looking to wipe it out and to leave nothing but corporations here sitting at the end. So, a heads up here, it just goes to show that the tentacles of this thing are reaching further and further. We were talking airlines, now it's the hotel industry, and before you know it, it could be right here in America, spread far and wide. So, I'll leave a link. Make sure to follow me over here on D Live. I'm going live Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Actually covered this story last night. You would have caught it first there. So make sure to join us over here.
This is the one about the mask. This one is like just crazy. Just some people, I'll tell you.
I came across this video online today. I think it's from the United States, but it obviously could be anywhere here in Canada too. Take a look.
Get away
Put
from
your
me.
mask on.
I'm sorry. You can walk away from me right now, sir.
Put your mask on.
Get away from me,
Put it
please.
on. Does it bother anybody else that she doesn't have to wear a mask that we all do?
Just go away. Stay 6 feet away from me then.
No.
Get away from me.
No. Yeah.
Please get away from me right now.
No.
You don't need to come near me.
She has it on her damn hand.
Get away from me. Walk away from me, sir. Please get away from me.
You don't care.
Leave me alone.
She
Stay 6 feet away from me then.
Cannot infect my baby.
God, get out of here. I know who you voted for.
So the first thing you'll notice, I'll play it again in a second, is he wasn't even wearing his own mask properly. He adjusted very quickly, but in the first few seconds there, it's just over his mouth, not his nose, because he doesn't like wearing a mask either. It wasn't on properly. He sure was swearing and making a scene, even though he was wanting the other person, the lady who was filming it, to be the one getting the security attention. I thought it was very interesting. He sort of gave it away when he said, does it bother anybody else in here that we have to wear a mask and she doesn't? I think that shows you that he wasn't really a masker so much as if I have to wear it, everyone else does, which is another way of saying if I'm submissive, obedient, and if I surrender, I don't want anyone else to be, to show more courage than me. He says she has it in her own hand. She swore again. I thought the perfect line was the last one. I know who you voted for. I think that's pretty obvious too. Here, let's just watch it one more time and keep an eye peeled for all the little tells that I just said. Take a look.
Get away
Put
from
your
me.
mask on.
I'm sorry. You can walk away from me right now, sir.
Put your mask on.
Get away from me,
Put it
please.
on. Does it bother anybody else that she doesn't have to wear a mask that we all do?
Just go away. Stay 6 feet away from me then.
No.
Get away from me.
No. Yeah.
Please get away from me right now.
No.
You don't need to come near me.
She has it on her damn hand.
Away from me. Walk away from me, sir. Please get away from me.
You don't care.
Leave me alone.
She
Stay 6 feet away from me then.
Cannot infect my baby.
God, get out of here. I know who you voted for.
Yeah, what a snitch, what a scold, into public shaming. We've seen that from politicians too. We see John Tory, the mayor of Toronto. We see the premier of Manitoba naming and shaming, into public shaming. That's not about the virus, is it? Obviously, the man was not really scared. He kept walking towards her. If you think someone's Typhoid Mary, you don't keep going closer and closer to her, especially when she says back off, you run away from her. He's mad that she isn't obeying, and I sense he doesn't want to obey either. And I think one more thing, and it's one of the problems with masks, is a mask gives you at least semi-anonymity, which gives you a license. It's one of the reasons why people online are so mean. They are either fully anonymous, they have a made-up name, or they're sort of anonymous because they're not right face-to-face with a person. It's easier to insult someone. It's easier to engage in bad behavior if no one knows who you are. So wearing a mask, or at least a partial mask, I think gave him the, confidence is the wrong word, but the license to be abusive to a woman that he would never do that to in any other circumstance. Just terrible. I think people are getting fed up about that. And frankly, that man is getting fed up about his situation. He was just expressing it in a very poor way. That's the excerpt from my daily show. Every day
I completely agree. I've been saying that. I've been saying that for a long time now. Is that these people that wear the mask, they feel more empowered. You can tell they wouldn't. They do shit that they normally wouldn't be doing. Hey Cammy, welcome GR44. I'm going to explain that I'm exempt, and if you keep getting in my bubble to bug me about a mask, I'm going to sue you for endangering me. Do not assume you know more or better, sir. Laugh out loud. Now, if I would have been there, I would have knocked that motherfucker out. I'm telling you, I would have knocked that motherfucker out, and I would have walked right out the fucking door. And I'm sure every woman around there would have been clapping me on and not said a word to the cops on what I look like. Fucking son of a bitch and pansy pussy son. I never get that. I got that one guy in Walgreens that would have balls enough to say something. But someday I hope I run into some asshole like that talking to a woman or anybody like that. You know, that's such bullshit. The reptile shirt is a giveaway. Just walk, you can tell. Yeah, just the walk, you can tell. Yeah. Be assertive, Cammy. I'm coming over, Cammy. Yo, Patrick. Do not back the flip up. I would have stood firm. Then sue him. I don't own his vacation house in Florida. Yeah, no shit. You'd own his and his boyfriend's vacation house. Cause yeah, so when I seen that, I thought that was fucking hilarious. Now this next short clip that I'm gonna bring up is these guys that are standing up, and if we could get people, if we get people like this all over to do this, that's what I'm talking about.
If you guys missed it, I've reported and
Sorry about that. I must have paused it. All right, here goes.
Shared the video clips here of these New Jersey gym owners that have repeatedly defied these tyrannical orders that have been put out in place on not only their business, but many other businesses in the state. Now, this gym has racked up more than $1.2 million in fines for refusing to adhere to the state's COVID-19 restrictions. Now, this is the Atlas Gym, where not only these guys, but all the people that come there to work out are making a stand with them. Now, they have received roughly 60 citations. Both of the owners have been arrested and then released. Every single day they open their gym in violation of the state order. And they're saying
I think they also need to take the mask off.
Fines every single time this
Yeah,
happens.
I'm not happy about that, but I am happy that they're standing up.
The fines of almost $16,000 a day have racked up to $1.2 million. They're continuing to defy that and to make a move. The question is, where do the people sit? Are the people going to step up and support others? Or what's going to give here? As we've witnessed in California, the sheriff stepped up. They said, we're not going to enforce this stuff. Now, could you imagine what would be happening here in this situation if there were sheriffs here that were saying the same thing? So in California, when the sheriff stepped up and they started all this, guess what? Now they've got a big movement to recall Gavin Newsom, and it's gaining steam. Are the people going to start to step up and support others? Or what's going to give here? As we've witnessed in California, the sheriffs stepped up. They said, we're not going to enforce this stuff. Now, could you imagine what would be happening here in this situation if there were sheriffs here that were saying the same thing? So in California, when the sheriff stepped up and they started all this, guess what? Now they've got a big movement to recall Gavin Newsom, and it's gaining steam, all because the people are rising. They're supporting one another, backing one another, and that is what has to happen out here in this day and age. But this is a perfect example of what they're doing to people out there, and this is a perfect example of those that are rising against them. Now, I'm going to leave a link here. I'm going to break this down further on the next live stream, so make sure to join me over here on D Live, where we can break this down censorship-free and where it's
So yeah, I mean, I showed you guys that because of them standing up, taking a stand. Obviously, I'm not too happy with them wearing the mask. Big tough guys, you know, and they're wearing a mask. But I was very happy to see that they were not going to back down. They're going to keep their place open, as should all businesses, all small businesses, restaurants and everything, keep their doors open. I've seen so much businesses going out of business just in my communities. This is the destruction of the third class, of the second class, of the middle. The middle, there's rich, middle class, poor, and the middle class is now going bye-bye to poor, and poor is going to extinct. Because if you can't afford to live, you're not going to live. And some tough times are coming. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to sit up here and be doom and gloom. That's the last thing I want to do, but if you guys aren't seeing it by now, you know, and the only thing I can say to that is, you know, you can't really prepare for it. The only way you can prepare for it is through Jesus Christ, I believe. But yeah, I hope everybody's well. I hope everybody gets their wishes and can live a life that they want to live. You know, I mean, that's all you ever want for a person is for them to be happy and live their life the way they want to live it. So there's another film here on this veteran. I think he's a veteran.
This is my.
And he gets
This is my colleague,
arrested.
okay, from the council, and his name's Neil
Hold on.
Smith. Okay. The reason we come into here today with one COVID control. Okay.
Yep.
We're enforcing the regulations and the legislation.
And why are you talking to me?
Okay. Sorry.
And why are you talking to me?
Because maps are part of that legislation.
You know I'm exempt.
And that's part of why I've come to speak to you to see what the exemption is, if you've got an exemption, and that's why I waited for you to come off the phone.
And I'm going to ask you to leave me alone.
Okay. So can I see your exemption certificate?
No, you can't, because you don't have to ask for that. You're not
Yes,
allowed to.
I need to see your
Show me in law where it says you
I
can
need
ask
to
for
see
that.
your exemption certificate.
You identify yourself, please, just again,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
on the camera. Sorry, say it again.
Rich Davis, 3820. Rich Davis, 3820, Hereford Police Station.
Thank
all
you,
right?
yeah.
You just drop your pen.
Doesn't matter.
What I need to do, and I'll take your details.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
Unless I've broken the
I
law.
will. Yeah, you have. At the minute, you haven't got a mask on.
Call a
You're saying you
call a
haven't got-
supervisor.
You haven't got.
Call a supervisor.
I don't need to call a supervisor.
You do.
don't.
You know the law. I can
Right.
show you the law on the phone here.
I need your details so we can follow it up. With
You're
your
not getting my
exemption,
details.
Okay.
You have to arrest me to get my
Well, you're going
details.
to be arrested, and if that's what you. That's what
Yeah,
you're
go
supposed
for
to
it.
do. You're going to be arrested because you haven't got your mask on and you're refusing to give.
I've been shopping here for 6-7 months.
So
I'm exempt from wearing a mask. You don't know who I am. You don't know what I've been through, but yet you're forcing me. You're trying to find me for something I've not done wrong.
we haven't said
You're
that.
discriminating me for not wearing a
No, we haven't
mask.
said that.
You're
we haven't said that.
trying to arrest me to take my details.
We haven't said. I've
You're
asked for
only
your
legally allowed to take my
details so I can
details
inquire.
if I've broken the law.
Okay. You are breaking the law if you start to say to me, I'm not going to give you your details because I need
That's
to verify.
incorrect. You can only ask my
your details so I can check
You
your.
can only
your
ask
story.
under what section?
There's no section.
What act?
Okay.
What
COVID
law have I
Act,
broken?
COVID Act 2020.
Yeah, and I told you I'm exempt
COVID
from wearing a
Act.
mask.
Well, let me check that out then.
You don't have to check that out. How do I prove
So I
that
just
to you?
walk away and then.
Have you read the legislation and what
Yes,
the
I
government
have.
says
Yes,
about
I have.
exemption
That's why I have
cards?
the council
What does it say about exemptions?
Okay. So you need to provide me
What
with
does
your
it
details.
say about exemptions?
You answer my question.
What does it say about exemptions?
Where's your exemption?
You answer my
At home,
public
And I
servants.
need to ask your details.
No,
Then you will be arrested.
No.
I will call another unit here with a van and we'll take you to custody.
for not wearing a mask.
Yes.
Good
Well,
luck.
no, for not providing me with your
I
details.
don't have to
sir.
provide my details.
You don't need
I've
to
not
provide
broken a law.
them. You need to provide me with your
I've
details.
not
so I can
broken a law.
verify. Okay. I waited for you to come off the phone.
I've not broken a law.
Okay.
I suggest you de-escalate this, officer. Constable, should I
No, what we're talking about it. I'm not
do you agree with this?
I'm asking you for your details.
I'm here.
I've been very fair with you,
I've been
And
honest with you.
and you told me to
I have
leave
an
you alone.
exemption.
I can't do that.
We obviously have to check that
You
what
don't.
you're telling
No.
us is correct. Because
There's
otherwise,
no.
everybody
There
would
is
just
no.
say they've got
It says in law on the government website, exemptions do not have to be asked for. They do not have to be shown. They can be shown if someone wishes to. For example, I can wear my lanyard. I chose not to wear my lanyard.
and that's what we say. But we have to make sure that you have got the exemption because otherwise you just say what you
No,
want.
you don't. I'm afraid. Good luck with us. Come on, you need to de-escalate this. Give him
I'm
some words of
trying to now
encouragement.
by asking you to give him.
I haven't got anything on me. I don't have to carry something.
No, you don't have to.
Thank you.
Tell him your name and address
No.
so that he can follow it up at a later date.
And how are you going to prove by my name and address that I have an exemption?
Well, when we come around and see you,
You won't come and see me.
when we come around and see you, because I can't check of anywhere elsewhere. Doctors will require your
No.
authority.
Come on.
Okay. It's
You're
medical.
showing ignorance now.
No. That's okay.
Doctors do not
I'm not-
issue exemption certificates.
I am trying to be, fairly
Constable, you're not.
reasonable and firm with you.
Constable, I'm going to ask you to
Okay.
de-escalate this and move on.
We're
and
not.
talk to
We're
other
not
people.
escalating this at all.
You are.
We're not. You haven't got a mask.
Right,
You
okay.
say you. Listen to me a minute. You haven't got a mask.
Well, calm down.
You haven't
Do not
got a
speak
mask.
to me and raise your voice to
You
me.
haven't. Well, listen.
That's a public order offence.
Listen to what I'm talking to you about. You haven't got your mask on.
No, I
which is
haven't.
fine. You've now said I am exempt from wearing one.
Yes.
Fine. Where is your exemption certificate? I haven't got it.
I
with
don't
me.
have to carry it with me.
Listen to me a minute.
No, I don't even want to be talking to you.
Okay, so you haven't got your exemption. Okay, that's fine. We can follow that up. Sir, what's your name and your address?
You're not getting it.
And you don't want to do that.
I've not broken any laws.
Okay, so I'm suspecting now that you haven't got an exemption certificate.
So you're calling me a liar?
I'm not calling you. I'm suspecting because you're not. Why not give me your name and details?
Constable, de-escalate this.
Listen, sir.
Let me get off my shopping.
Why not give me your name, your address?
This is absolutely shocking. This is absolutely shocking.
Because at the moment you're now.
I've come in here.
I'm detaining you
hundreds of times.
I find
hundreds of times.
They know me in here.
And now, because you're in here, I have to wear a mask.
That's irrelevant, whether they know you or not. I go into my local pub, and if I didn't have a mask on, they know me. But if I'm not exempt, I'm breaking the rules.
I'm not worried about you.
Okay, so provide me with your name and details, and then you're happily gone on.
I'll provide you with my name and details. You can tell me what law I've broken.
I've just told you you're not wearing a mask in a
sure. So where does it say I have to give you my name and details?
So we go around in circles.
Sure.
What aisle is this? This is aisle. Is it got a number?
So you're detaining under what section?
You're not going.
Under what section am I being detained?
2020.
Am I being detained?
Yes, at the moment. You're not under arrest.
Doing what?
For not providing me with your details for me to verify. That's what.
Sure.
That's why you're not showing on your.
You'll be a YouTube star after this.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Is this honestly how the council wants to treat people who have got exemptions?
I'm with the police.
I understand it, Mr. Smith. This is incorrect.
He's come in. He has asked under health protection regulations, COVID 2019, 2020. I can't quite remember the whole of it, so I'll be clear with that. The issue he's got is you've said you've got an exemption. That's the issue, and there's no reason for us not to believe that.
Can I ask you?
What I'm saying is, if you gave you details, it can be followed up at a later date.
Well, should I just give up my rights and hand over my name and address for no reason, for not breaking any laws? This constable wouldn't have to be such a arrogant man trying to get people's names and numbers for no reason at all.
About it. I understand upholding the law. I'm told what
you're not
to
upholding
do,
any laws.
And
I've told you as a citizen, I have an exemption.
You're
you
not
have no idea what people go through in their lives. And you want to put someone on a mask, but you want to criminalise me for that.
I've asked you about your exemption certificate.
Yeah, so that goes around for about 10 minutes. I just wanted to step in, and I was reading in the chat the GR44 says, nice, good luck with your battle. I'm battling no weed, no house, no family, no nothing, except a tablet. I can only win now. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I mean, I feel for you, man. I was in that exact same spot not but a couple months ago, and you know, I'm still. I mean, I do have a roof over my head now, but you know, I can't even afford a Christmas gift for my daughter, and that's really sad. I mean, I feel broken down, as I'm sure you are. Broken down. I don't feel like a man that I can't even afford a gift for my daughter, you know, and I get exactly where you're coming from. We just have to try to hang in there as much as possible. Like I'm reading, you said God is stripping me of everything except love. And, you know, I think about what, I believe that we all go through things for a reason. And I hated when people were telling me that when you're down and out, that's the last thing you want to fucking hear is, well, God, there's not a reason, there's a reason for everything. And, but I look back on it and, I learned a lot out of that circumstance. And although I think everybody in this world should have shelter, food, while all the basic needs should be met, and there should be no fucking reason for this shit. And GR44, man, if I could help you out, I would. If I had a big enough house, I'd say, come on over, take the basement or whatever. But I'm just not in that, not that way. But I've also been reading some awesome comments in here. That I read GR44. We are almost in the same boat. I am sorry to hear that you are so alone and with so much loss. But remember that sometimes these things are a blessing in disguise. I mean, we're all with you, GR44, and I'm glad that you were able to make it in here. At least you've got at least some kind of contact. We love you, and if we can keep you company for a while, I know how much that means. I know when I was down and out, and it was a blessing to be able to come to the chat rooms and talk to everybody we know and have come to love and shit. Like everything lately is 10 times laugh out loud. Once you reach that point, you are untouchable. They can't do anything to corrupt you, as there are no chips to bargain with. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I feel the boost in confidence off and on. I don't know, laugh out loud. To speak my mind, yeah. I think the every time that I got a boost in confidence, like you're talking about, I don't know how you felt when you got it, but I felt that I was free in a way. I was free. Although I had nothing, not even a car, nothing. I didn't have nothing except for a backpack. And I felt free in a way. And I guess that gave me a little spark. Medical discrimination is what he needs to say to scare them. What can I lose? Laugh out my life is the Twilight Zone. Yeah, no shit. You are discriminating against me for having a medical issue. To show you proof is against basic human rights and laws. Yeah, exactly. Scrolling down now, how to explain it them when they ask. So I'm young and I feel he didn't want me all my life with an NPC. I must have missed something. And I feel okay. What can I lose? Twilight Zone. I am in a group home, but yeah. Well, at least you got a house, so you got a roof over your head. I'm not happy where I am right now, but at least it is a roof over my head. But I deal with a lot of numb knuckleheads, numb nuts, knuckleheads. You guys kind of get Emir try to learn how to build basic shelter in the woods forest. Yeah, it's what it's coming to, isn't it? These people don't even try to get it. Yeah. You can't really say anything to them. But do you guys remember me talking about that guy? I bring this guy Rat on a few times, and I know that you're not going to agree with everything that he says. I don't agree with everything he says, but I find it so fascinating. I find this guy, something about this shit I find it very fascinating. So I have got to play some of Rat's video. Okay. This guy. He's got a hell of an imagination, I'll tell you that.
Hey, what's up, everybody? We are 18 days out from Endgame 2020, and today I'm going to be answering a bunch of people's comments and stuff because I haven't done that in a while, and I need to address those things because there's some really important stuff that you guys have been saying that you may not go and read every single comment, but I read every single comment, and I need to make a video so that way everybody can hear what these comments are if you're not paying attention to all the comments, so that way you can be in the loop of what everybody's saying, so that way I'm not just retaining information, because the information is really for everyone. But before we get started on that, I don't know if you guys remember yesterday when I said, go ahead and look up 1972. Here we go, just in case you didn't look it up. And I'm going to call him AF. How AF became America's doctor. If you scroll down, you'll find AF graduated first in his class from Cornell in 1966, just as America's involvement in Vietnam was accelerating. So that's really where the very first thing starts off for AF, is in the year 1966. That was him graduating, and then the very next date that you get, it goes right to the year 1972. In the year 1972, AF started as a senior researcher at the National Institute of Allergies, Infection Diseases. You guys already know because you're here, you're on this channel, you're listening, you're paying attention, you're seeing these things. But here's another one that I missed. Like, this could have been in the...
Okay, I should probably explain to some of you that probably haven't seen this before. I play this guy once in a while. Okay, the fast gist of this is the guy has a theory that all of us who are awake to everything, the Mandela effect and everything, that we are in frozen chambers by Alcor. And back in 1972, Alcor, so anywhere from 1972 to now, we could have died at any point, or not died, but had a disease or something wrong with us that we had enough money, or our relatives had enough money to freeze us. And until science got to the point where they could cure us or heal us or whatever. So this guy is matching up major events from that match up from 1972 to 2020. So what he's saying is that basically when we hit the year, or December 31st, when we hit ding midnight of January 1st, the simulation starts over, and wherever we died or wherever we got put in, we go back to just before that or whatever. And then we start all over our lives again. So basically, we're going to live the same life over again until someday we get our someday our disease is science is caught up with whatever disease we have or whatever is wrong with us. Science is caught up with that. So then we just wake up when we're ready to be operated on or whatever, and we'll be fine, and we'll be back into the real reality. So that's what this guy, that's his theory. So now you'll get a little bit understanding on what he's talking about here.
This is massive. This is not small. This is not something we should brush aside. When I already showed you what the CIA stuff, the DARPA stuff, and all these other things that have to do with 1972 and how they're all directly connected to the year 2020 and too. So you guys should know. I mean, I'm not here to convince you guys, and people who will look at this overwhelming evidence and literally just brush it aside, it just tells you that there's something wrong, right? There is a reason why they don't want to see it. It's absolutely absurd for somebody not to look at the overwhelming facts like that and not think that something is definitely wrong. Okay, so this we have a new person in the mix who is dropping some comments with some real good stuff, like how Greeny was putting up a lot of comments that were like that was really good stuff for us to dig our teeth in and to say, okay, yeah, let's take more look into what he's saying. There is also another new person who's out there named Neil Baker, and he put up a comment saying Atari equals rat and AI. I never noticed that. I never put that together. I don't know if you guys ever put that together, but man, he's right. He's spot on. Yes, A and I on the outside of the word rat, which is backwards actually, because it's, you know, TAR, but if you switch that around, it's rat. It's RAT. How bizarre is it that the name of the very first major console in the world just so happens to have come out in the year 1972, the year of the rat, and in the year 2020, the biggest thing that we have going on right now with consoles and everything in general is AI, artificial intelligence. We are now in the generation of alpha. So, I mean, come on, even Atari itself. And he's saying that like it's kind of like they're like it's playing a joke on us and stuff, but I don't really think it's so much as it's playing a joke on us. I do really truly believe the system can only be so big, right? Like it cannot be an infinite system. Whatever the computer system that is running for us inside the simulation, it has to kind of bunch things together to make things make sense for us. But when you start to notice these patterns, like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but most movies nowadays, they're just reruns of old movies that have been torn apart and put back together from, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Why is that? Why is there no creativity? Well, that also answers the explanation of that we are in a simulation. There's a lack of creativity. Almost every single movie that's come out now, most of them have no new directions. It's all stuff that's already been said, it's already been done, it's just pretty much rewrites or torn apart from something else and put back together, and that makes sense in a simulation where there is no creativity. Like I said before, AI cannot create, period. It just cannot do it. So it has to do what? It has to recreate. Neil Baker also took a look at the address of where Alcor was. It's just funny. I mean, he's really looking into this stuff and he's starting to pick up in a different way. He has a different perspective. And this is why it's important for all of you to please leave comments on stuff that you think that seems like something's off or something to help us all understand this. He looked at the address for Alcor and where it's at. And the address for Alcor is Acoma, right? Acoma Drive. You break that down, it's A and coma. And what is it when you go into a deep sleep? You go into a coma. They may have purposely did that. I don't know. These things are just really good information. I appreciate all you guys leaving these comments up like this because it helps stimulate all of us so we can all understand what's going on. And Karen Kinsey, I think it's Kinsey. She's been leaving a lot of comments lately, and I've been trying to keep up with the stuff that she's saying because I know that she's interested, and I want to try to reply to her as much as possible. And it's also important. She asked the question, where do you talk about your visitation? She's obviously talking about when I had the alien intervention thing that happened to me. If you go to the video playlist, go into my video playlist, and then go to the list that just says 1972. Scroll down through that list, and you'll see a video there called Religion, Aliens, and Scientists Inside of the Matrix. Click on that video, and if you don't want to see all the stuff on religion or all the stuff on science, I put a little thing there, a little time ticker for people to click. You can just go to 1830 and it takes you right to where I explain all that stuff. So I appreciate your comments. Yeah, go there and check that out, and then leave a comment and tell me what you think. I'm also looking for anybody else who actually can say that they actually have actual proof of prints, because I've only found one footprint that was exactly the same identical print that was in my school. There was no doubt about it, and I tried to find out who posted that picture of that, and I cannot find out where the picture came from, because if I did, I would just ask them, did you measure those footprints? And I would ask them some other questions of some things too that happened before that happened and then after it happened, and see if they had some similar experiences, so I know that they're telling the truth, that it's not just somebody just trying to troll me or whatever. But yeah, it's when I look at the print that was images that they showed their print that they had in the snow. It is identical, and it almost does look like it's the same size, which I'm not going to tell you guys what size it is because literally I use that as kind of a way to find out if somebody's telling the truth or not about it. Hey, Karen, I appreciate your comments, and please keep them coming, and I'll try to answer as much as possible. Literally, guys, nobody's comments are absurd. Nobody's comments are not going to get answered. I'm going to try to answer every single comment as possible, especially because we're literally only 19 days out anyhow. So, or 18 days out. Whoops. Yeah, we're 18 days away. And the last comment that I'm going to address today, because this is very important, it's going to pertain to what's going to happen tomorrow. Madara, Maranda, Ortego. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm not very good at let alone I'm not very good at remembering names. But she left a comment. She said that Monday is an important day in many ways for the elites. Great video. And then what does she mean by Monday is going to be a great day? Okay, so she says this Monday is the day the vax get distributed, the electoral college deadline, the solar eclipse, and the new moon lineup. So she's pretty much saying about there is a bunch of stuff going to happen tomorrow. December 14th, we're expecting to have a solar eclipse that's coming through. We also have the sun, which has the solar explosions on the sun have not stopped, guys. They just keep coming. And that's what I was saying is it's a very good possibility we're going to see something very crazy tomorrow if that happens with the sun lined up behind the moon, lined up with the planet Earth. That's something to keep an eye on. It'd be kind of cool to see, or maybe it might not be. Who knows? I'm not really going to say because I don't know. I just been paying attention to what's going on. The electoral college deadline is tomorrow. I didn't know it was December 14th is actually the deadline for that. So yeah, and you got all this stuff that's going on. I don't know if you guys been paying attention to the rallies, like Trump's rallies. They've actually gone into a whole religious thing, and there's definitely the religious white supremacist type movement that's going on with it.
Some members of the far-right group raised Confederate flags, while others flashed a hand signal associated with white power. Before the march, Enrico Tarrio, one of the group's leaders, visited the White House. A White House spokesman denied that there was a meeting with the president, insisting that Tarrio took a tour that was open to the public. Are you going to meet with the president? That's the rumor.
No, I'm not going to meet with the president.
Welcome back. Violence broke out overnight following a pro-Trump rally in the nation's capital. Protesters clashed with counter-protesters and police. 4 people were in fact stabbed and are in critical condition. 1 officer has minor injuries. In all, 8 people were taken to the hospital and 33 were arrested. In Washington state this weekend, also 1 person was shot in amid pro-Trump and anti-Trump clashes. Police saying the suspect was arrested. This is all coming the same day as the leader of the Proud Boys, a far-right extremist group with ties to white nationalism, shared photos of himself at the White House. Enrique Tarrio posted that he was invited, but a White House spokesperson says he was actually on a public tour and not invited by the president. But the president does not discourage any of this behavior. If anything, he actually fuels it. Here he is just today as he continues to push his baseless claims that Joe Biden did not win this election.
Regardless of what people want to say, whether there's racism going on or not, first of all, you guys already know how I feel. Racism is your right. You should have the right to be a racist person. I personally am not racist. I am open to all people, all cultures, and all languages. But I do also believe that people have the right to not like other people because it's just how they feel. We can't force people to feel a different way. But yeah, that's definitely going on, with the solar eclipse, with the moons lining up, with everything that's happening, and they're going to be pushing out the vaccine tomorrow, which is supposed to be coming out. So tomorrow is definitely going to be a very impactful day, and we're just going to have to keep our eyes open and pay attention and see what happens. And then also she says that it's going to be a ritualistic day for a dawn of a new era upon us. So yes, thank you for leaving a comment. Nothing surprises me, and it shouldn't surprise you guys either, because of all the stuff in 1972 and how those things are all lining up with the year 2020. In fact, all the things that's going to happen tomorrow are actually directly connected to 1972. When you look at the vaccines, who is the head of that stuff? Yeah, AF is there. So when you look at the Electoral College, which deadlines tomorrow, what is that about? That's about the elections. Well, it has to do with Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Yet 1972 Donald Trump, 1972 Joe Biden, directly connected. We had the historic solar eclipse in 1972, and we had historical solar flares that happened in 1972. So tomorrow is definitely going to be a historical event, and maybe nothing at all happens, but it's just nice to say, hey, we kept our eyes open. We were paying attention. We are actually, and I hate using that word woke or being awake, because that's become like a thing on both sides. Like when you have people who are Christians, you have people who are Muslims, you have people who are Judaism, and you have people who are atheists, and every single one of them saying that they're woke, or all of them saying that they're truthers. Okay, so which side am I supposed to believe is awake and truthers? You know what I mean? So that's the reason why I don't use that stuff. But definitely we are people that are actually seeing what's going on by actually looking at data and not just on hopeful wishes or anything. We're actually looking at the data of 1972 and how the data of 2020 match up.
It's his game now. The only way to win is not to play.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a way to live.
But it is a way.
So yeah, I thought that was a interesting.
They're not breaking any laws.
Here we go.
We'll
watch this again. The newest one he put out is this one here, but I'm not going to play it right now. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just...
Hey guys, what's up? We're December 14th, 2020. I was working on the video. I already recorded it for the 12 minutes.
Okay, there we go. Now I shall kick this out. Remove from stream. Okay. All right. I will make a copy of the link, and anybody who wants to join me can jump on and join. If you got something to say, about it. So I also heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard in Britain yesterday that they found a new strain of COVID. Drummer, please. Yeah. So, shall I dare ask this question? Put a 1 in the chat room if you're going to take the VWX. The VAWX. Put a F for fuck you if you're not going to take the VAXX. Yo. So should we call the rest of the night, make it into a fun night? What can we do? We'll play some music and let you guys chat it up till we get some people in here that want to chat, carry on conversation. Hey, what's that F you? Are you telling me to fuck off? GR44, I keep praying for mine to be healed. I can't work due to fibromyalgia. We do not consent. Exactly. GR44 weird, but lately even my shirts and stuff are all uncomfortable. I don't know if it's the disconnecting from Matrix or it's kind of weird lately. Even my shirts and stuff are all uncomfortable. So if your shirts and stuff are uncomfortable, what does that have to do with the Matrix? Just a question. That's what I say to people here, to give them hope. The past is changing. They might wake up disease-free. So, I think I will then play. Should we do it? Play this. Play his other video. Might as well catch up with it.
Minutes because of what's going on, and this being a significant day. But last night and all morning this morning, I was working on recording, talking about intervention. The other possibility of not being in a simulation, the other possibility would be that we have dealt with alien intervention and that something significant happened in 1972, as well as it being the last time that man walked on the moon. So I was working on the video. I was thinking, why December 14th? Which is funny because a lot of the stuff in the video that I was actually talking about was all about alien stuff and about the moon landing and all this and stuff. And just so happens, I look up and here you go.
99, proceeded, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Houston, vector good. X-Side.
Apollo 17 lifts off from the moon December 14th, 1972. Exactly 48 years to the day, symbolizing the closure of the loop. Is that possible? Is that what's going on? I don't know. But then here it is. So yeah, I mean, whatever, and then there was another video that came up today from the guy with the solar flares that I've been watching his channel, and he was talking about crazy stuff that's happening today that should not be happening, and he brings up the number 172, and here that is.
Massive density. That was extremely strange, and let me show you why. This is Space Weather Prediction Center. I take you guys here all the time. I looked at this a little while ago, before all the YouTube stuff went down. There was absolutely no uptick in the geomagnetic activity. I'm not understanding that whatsoever, and there could be a really good reason for it. I just simply don't know. The ACE data, obviously, it still had picked up this really high density reading at over 172. I've never seen a density reading that high, okay? Our magnetopause models went freaking nuts. The Enville model shows nothing like that. Okay? That doesn't show anything. Let's let me pull that back up. Yeah, let's do it this way. Okay, so now we can go look at, I want to look at that real quick. If we go down here, we look at the auroras. You would think with the density reading of 172, there would have been some sort of an aurora increase. No matter if the BZ is wrong. Okay, the BZ could be in the positive, but with the 172 density reading, I would still think our magnetopause and our geomagnetic activity would react. Our magnetopause did, but the geomagnetic activity did not go up at all. Matter of fact, it went down. And I'm not seeing, you see what happened just there though, guys? I think it missed time. This is what I'm trying to talk about. Something was going on here. It definitely missed time. And it missed time right around the time we were getting that density reading that was all jacked up. This shouldn't do this. Okay, so if we look at the timestamp, okay, it's at 4:05, 4:10. Okay, yeah, it jumped from 4:15 to 6:15, right when that density hit us. Why are we not seeing this on this at all? We're not able to see that time frame. Well, did you guys see that? Look, guys, I'm telling you, something is not right. I mean, I don't want to say something's nefarious here. That's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that something happened. There's too many things here that are not adding up. We have the big total solar eclipse that's happening in the south, down there in South America. Okay, look at this. 172 density. Typically, I'd say, man, that's a mistake. But I back up some more.
and we get a 25 right there prior to. So what was happening there was we probably had some sort of density shock coming at us that was only just like very, very short-lived, okay? And it hit us here a little bit, and then a few minutes later, the brunt of it hit. And I showed this to you guys last night. So I'm still not sure what caused it. Nobody knew it was coming. Nobody. And then we move on, and then we get hit a second time. Right here. That hit was 172. Okay? Now, what I want to stress here is that if we get hit with something that's 172, our magnetics are going to react like this. This would be expected from a large hit. Yep, see it? That's a flare, guys. We just got hit with a flare. Look where it's at. That's funny. Well, that makes sense, though. It does. That down here is the eclipse. But if a flare is going to hit during an eclipse, think about it. It has to hit on the day side, right? So if a flare ever happens during an eclipse, it's going to happen really close to where the eclipse happened.
And then I got a thing that popped up about CERN and the fact that CERN, and I guess this is an old feed, but for some reason it popped up today on my stuff, and it was talking about how CERN got to get a thing to go through just not too long ago, like about a month or two ago, saying that they actually were able to build a bigger collider now. Well, that's exactly what happened in 1972 with the 1,000 times spike, the unexplained 1,000 times spike in power.
On June 19th, the CERN Council in Geneva, Switzerland, approved the construction of a new 100-kilometer circular super collider called the Future Circular Collider. This new collider is 73 kilometers larger than the Large Hadron Collider. The construction is expected to begin in 2038 and cost at least 21 billion euro.
And then as I was looking on my phone and scrolling through, after I saw that, a thing popped up on Donald Trump and Israel just a week ago. It said 5 days ago, the researcher in Israel saying that Donald Trump knows about aliens and alien intervention and all this stuff. And here's that thread that popped up 5 days ago.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives. Though remember, a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the US Armed Forces. Well, we did ask the White House, the Department of Defense, and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded to the NBC News request.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. It's called Operation Warp Speed. That means big and it means fast. A massive scientific, industrial, and logistical endeavor unlike anything our country has seen since the Manhattan Project. That means big and it means fast. A massive scientific, industrial, and logistical endeavor unlike anything our country has seen since the Manhattan Project.
If all of that is not enough, and I was having a lot of those experiences yesterday, by the way, where it's not psychic experiences, what some people may think it's like a psychic experience. I don't recall it as a psychic experience because it's literally, I will be thinking about something and then something very similar to it will happen right away, like very similar, and it's like, it's back to back to back all day. It's not just straight memories. It's more of something that's very similar, and then all of a sudden something else happens not long after that, which is exactly the thoughts that I was having. But anyhow, so then that was going on, and then also I get this other thing on my phone, which brings up about the Anunnaki. And in the video I was talking about this morning, which I mean, whether you do or you don't believe, it's fine. But this morning when I was talking and I was explaining about aliens and alien life forms and all those different types of things of aliens, and I was talking about the reptilians and how it looked like the footprints that came to visit me was a reptilian footprints, and if it meant me harm, it did me harm. But you know why? Rome and the fall of them, as well as Egypt. It just, you know, and I was talking about that, and that maybe we're misled about the Anunnaki. And, you know, being winged, you know, beings and stuff like that, to look at them as like angels when they come here, you know, which funny, unbelievable. But anyhow, so yeah, all this stuff is going on. And then so then I get this video that pops up.
Not stories about gods. They're stories about the powerful ones in the Bible. If you've got a being who can literally say to the ocean, thus far and no further, then our ancestors would naturally say, these are our superiors, these are our gods, and worship them. The problem is, these terraforming beings were not God. And they did things that gives this away, not least that they modified our ancestors to be a slave species for them and treated us with great disregard in a number of ways, not least that in a number of these narratives there are genocides committed by these visitors. And so when you've got these leaders who actually have no empathy towards the human race, who have engineered us much as we would engineer Dolly the sheep, and are terraforming the planet not just for our benefit, but for something that they are looking for. Now you've got a very confused picture if you think that's God, because suddenly you've got a God who can be very violent, genociding, cannot be questioned, and has no fellow feeling with the human race.
And with that, guys, you know, hey, if I can't get the other video out tonight, I'm going to try to, but all I can tell you is the 48-year anniversary with all the other stuff that's going on, the exact 48-year anniversary to the day was the last time man walked on the moon. With that, enjoy the rest of your day.
So, wasn't that interesting? I think what he talks about is very interesting. Maybe it's just the history of it all, because I love history. So yeah. Going to chats. Bill says we do not consent. GR44, that's what I say to people here to give them hope. The past is changing. They might wake up disease-free. I would love to wake up without pain. Yeah, I totally agree there. So does Bill. Kind of strange thing I noticed. I think we might be the virus. Ooh, that's that would be weird. Hopefully it happens sooner rather than later, and like we have it, but it's like we have it, but we're immune and just spreading toxic for reptiles. Yeah, there is a lot of connections here. Yeah, that's what I think. My money is always on the girl in the pajamas. Yeah, but no, it's very fascinating how he does see all them connections. Welcome, Soul for Sale. You do not get EBT to sit home all day by being chill and doing homework. uh, so yeah, if anybody wants to come on, I can put the thing in chat. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a pretty early show tonight, which is okay, I suppose. The night before, we did, I think, 7.5 hours the night before. I gotta stop doing that kind of shit because that really takes a lot out of me. And then it's like, and then the next day, as you could see, I wanted to do a live, but I was just like, oh, I'm tired. So tonight I was feeling a little better. And I guess the earlier I get it done, the more likely I'll be on tomorrow. I really try to get on every day. But shit happens. So I really have nothing else to talk about. I'll knock this out of there. And if nobody's got anything to talk about, then I think we're good for tonight, huh? Yeah. Do we want to talk about really get into subjects like the mask and the non-maskers? We all know what's coming, but yeah, we say it over and over. Oh yeah, I love hearing other people's theories, though. It's very fascinating to hear other people's theories. Even the theory that Rat had, about being the connection between 1972 and 2020. I was 3 years old in 1972. So that would be weird to wake up, forget everything, and have to go through all this again. Maybe that's where deja vu comes in. Because we've been through it before, and then we're just, for some reason, they stuck in our mental box. Hey, Esther. Go sleep. Yeah. I sound tired? Yeah, I could go to bed right away. Yeah. So I suppose I will bid you all a good night. And I really hope well for everybody. I may God bless all you guys. And may God lend a helping hand down to GR44. Yeah. So God bless you, GR44. I hope I hope that your wishes come true.